Hello YouTubers and uploaders, and welcome to another tutorial on Project Spark. Today I will be teaching you on how to successfully use the AND and the OR gates on Project Spark. Obviously there will be a little change to this tutorial. I will be using a keyboard also with a controller, so let's get started. When I say the AND and the OR gates, in a way I mean these two things. As you can tell, they are shown by the yin yang as they got there. The yellow, see them two, the yellow and the green. As you can see, them two there, because obviously they are gates, they're logic gates, as they are basically, yeah, as they said in proper programming language. Anyway, so as you can see, I don't need this guy here. He was just for a demonstration, as I just demonstrated. This is the guy we need. This is the guy we'll also be working with. Let's go into his brain, obviously, because I'm already in there. Right, as you can see, I have some commands for the character to execute. On the first line, I've got when A is pressed, or A on the keyboard is pressed, then do a jump. Obviously, this is a bit easy, as you can tell, but obviously we'll go and test this, see if it works correctly. So we'll go into the pause menu and test. Right, so I'll press A now on the controller. As you can tell, now I'll press A on the keyboard. As you can tell, it works perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it. So we'll go back into the brain now. As you can tell, the OR gate gives you another perspective of what you can use, such as a touchpad or even a keyboard. As you can see, the next two lines are the same instructions but differently designed. As you can see, the second line, it has when the W button on the keyboard and the E button on the keyboard is pressed, walk forward or walk in the forward motion. And as you can say, on the third line it says when the right stick and the left stick is pushed up into the up direction, then move in the forward direction. It's exactly the same, it works fine. Well, I don't know whether it really works fine, so we'll go and test this, see if it works fine. It should work fine. So we'll try with the controller. As you can tell, he's moving fine. Now we shall try it on the keyboard to show you that it'll work exactly the same. As you can tell, it's working perfectly fine. Nothing really stops working or anything. It works fine. So let's go back into his brain now. The fourth and final line, as you can see, it is another OR gate as I've put in. As I meant to say now, the AND gate is another way for you to use two buttons instead of one. Right, so the fourth and final line, as you can see, it is another OR gate. It says when the X button on the controller or the right shift button on the controller is pressed, use the light attack. So obviously you don't want it to be any other else, you just want it to be a light attack. You can also change that to a heavy attack if you wanted to. So let's test it on the controller. As you can see, it works. Now on the keyboard, the right shift, as you can see, it works fine. Right, so as you can see, it works. Those logic gates have worked correctly. Those two logic gates are handy for making maybe racing games or even an RPG. So that concludes the tutorial today. Stay tuned for more on Project Spark, and see you next time.